It has taken the ASEAN and China 15 years to come up with just a framework for a Code of Conduct, or COC, in the South China Sea. It is an outline of a future set of rules and guidelines for both sides to observe when in the disputed waters. It's supposed to be a way to avoid or at least manage tense encounters among the claimant countries. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi heralded the adoption of the framework of the COC after his meeting with the ASEAN ministers.
When the situation in the South China Sea is generally stable, and if there is no major disruption from outside parties, with that as the precondition, then we will consider during the November leaders meeting, we will jointly announce the official start of the COC consultation.
The framework COC is the highlight of the Philippine chairmanship of the ASEAN this year, its 50th anniversary. But critics worry that the pending COC will not count for much if the ASEAN and China do not agree to make it legally binding, meaning if there will be no sanctions on violators. China earlier said it will reject a legally binding code. Reporters asked Wang whether that has changed.
We don't want to prejudge the result of that negotiation. Actually, on some issues, the 10 ASEAN countries, they don't have a consensus yet on some of the issues. But one thing is clear, whether it is the 2002 DOC or the future COC, all the 11 countries, once they put the signatures on the document, they show the responsibilities and they need to observe the document.
But that DOC, or Declaration of Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea, failed to stop China from reclaiming and now militarizing islands in the contested area. It was not legally binding. Last week, Foreign Affairs Secretary and ASEAN Ministerial Chairman Alan Peter Cayetano said if pushing for a legally binding COC will only lead to a deadlock, the ASEAN will settle for one that is, in his words, effective and substantive. But ASEAN Secretary General Le Long Min tells CNN Philippines the group will push for a code of conduct that matters.
The ministers are pushing for an effective COC. But for COC to be effective, how can it be without being legally binding?
JC Gotinga, CNN Philippines.